Hello, Jase here. Most busy professionals think they need a lot of time to build their self-publishing KDP business. You don't. You just need a simple system you can follow when you're tired. And in this video, I'm going to show you if you can allocate about 5 hours every week, you'll be able to create a book from scratch, publish it, have that sitting on Amazon and potentially make you another income stream, passive income stream, while you still got your day job on the side. Okay? And my students are using this right now to create income, hundreds and thousands of dollars every month, while they got jobs as well and they're quite busy. They're using this exact system to do that. Okay? And by the way, if you want just a full step-by-step straight away to jump in, I'll leave a link below. Okay, right, so let's talk about doing this in 5 hours. 5 hours is a good amount of time to create a decent book that can make you money. So we say 5 hours, okay? Right, and here's the thing. Like, when you got a job, and I know this when I had my 9 to 5, it's not just a case about time, is it? Because if it was, you could just say, I'll get home at 5:30, 6:30 I've eaten, I'll do my work. But it's never the case, because there's energy attached to that as well. There's an energy level. If you've had a bad day at work, it drains your energy. If you've got some personal issues, it drains your energy. Those hours aren't just hours. There's an energy thing. So it's super important to keep this with the least amount of friction, the simplest way possible, so you can still do it when you're tired, when you're depleted of energy. Okay, and 5 hours in a week, I think is very, very reasonable. Now, pro tip, if you're wondering where to find those 5 hours, if you think you're very, very busy, just track your time from when you get home. So when you get home, spreadsheet, piece of paper, what do you do from 6 to 6:30? What do you do from 6:30 to 7? Be honest, and you're going to find you're doing a load of stuff there that just wasting time. And I do it, everyone does it, but it's handy to see that, because then you could just say, oh, from 7 to 7:30, I wasn't really doing anything. You know, I could just eat and get straight on this. And then there you go, you found yourself half an hour in a day. Do the same for the week and you find yourself 5 hours, okay? So I'm going to break down now the 5 hours, what to do in each hour, so you know exactly what to do, so you can follow this this week or whenever you start it and get a book published. Yeah. Okay. So let's pretend these are your 5 hours across here. I'm just going to split this into 5. Yeah. Okay. So let's just say hour 1 now. I'm just going to allocate hour 1. Right. The first thing we need to do in the first part of hour 1 is, just do it here, find a customer. You find a customer on Amazon that's buying books at a good price, like above $12, and they're actively buying books now. It's just those two things. Once you found out, you kind of know that customer can pay you a decent amount of money. So once you've found a customer now you spend say another 20 minutes here with a title. Now, title, cover, they're separate. The book cover's got the title, yes, but treat them separately, because people, these customers of yours, will buy a book based on the title. Now, have you ever seen like books selling that are just like plain journals with a funny title, a gag title? Learn a lot while you sit on a pot. That's one of them. Nothing fancy about the cover. People are buying it because it's a gag gift, it's a title. You know, people buy based on the title. So you need to think that through. So we're doing a title that appeals to this customer. Okay. And another thing to keep in mind when you're, just a little side note, is the type. I'm just going to put here the type of book you're doing. You want a book that you can do fast. Like, there's little point in picking an activity book, you know, that's going to have puzzles, Sudoku, word searches, spot the difference, all that sort of stuff. It's too much. And pick stuff that you can do fast based on your skill level and using AI. Stuff like facts books, trivia books, they're really good because AI can produce those in minutes. Okay, we want speed. Don't be too concerned, by the way. Here's another little thing. Let me just get this point across. Don't be too concerned about how good the book is yet. Right? We want momentum first. Especially if you're building this for the first time outside of your job, it's like your first side hustle, it's the first thing you actually want to build properly. We want momentum. It's much better you're actually publishing books every single week and sticking to it, average books, okay books, but you're getting them out, then trying to worry about creating a really good book. And most people that do this get stuck on that. Okay, so I don't want you to think about that. I just want you to think, when you're thinking about a type book, something you can do fast. Okay, so you've got your customer, you've worked out a title, you've worked out what type of book. The next thing you do now, and I'm going to put this in red because this is a pain in the butt, is the book pages. Okay, so I'm going to put a good 1, 2, 3, 4 hour, 3 and a bit hours here. Although you could probably get it done a lot quicker, but let's just say for book pages. Now, why do we do that next? Because it's a pain in the arse. We just want to get it out of the way. It's literally that. We want to get it out the way. And another little note I want to say. You ever, like, I've got a 10-year-old daughter, okay? I'll take her to a toy shop. And she always manages to convince me to buy toys. You know, if you've got kids. They've got some way of convincing you. Even though you tell them on the way there, you're not getting nothing, well, you're getting this. When they see a box of a toy that they want, suddenly they become the biggest angels. Whatever they need to do, they're the best salespeople, aren't they? Do whatever they need to do to get that toy, right? So she will be like, oh, I want this because the toy box looks amazing. And then what happens? They take it home, takes the toy out. The toy isn't anything special. She bought it because of the box, and that toy ends up on a pile of other toys, just like all the other. So this special toy, this amazing toy that she wanted, was nothing more than because she saw the box. Same thing with books. Most people won't see the inside of the book. They're buying based on the cover and title. So if the inside of the book doesn't really have a massive chance of making a sale for you, the best thing we can do is just get that out of the way as quick as possible. It's like the pain in the butt. The annoying thing about it is it takes the longest amount of time and has the least impact of making you money. So we want to get out of the way. Okay, so we get that out of the way. So now we can focus in the last hour on what really matters, is putting the title together on a good cover. And I'm going to put down the last hour at least like 45 minutes. And it's only 45 minutes now because of AI. Before, I would say spend hours on this because you need to like test several covers. Now you can literally do it in minutes. If you want to even how to do it in minutes, by the way, it's all included in my step-by-step program below. But you just use AI, just create loads of different cover concepts. Make sure, pro tip is make sure the title is being shown clearly on the cover. Think of it like this. The title sells the book. The cover's job is to show the title in the best way possible. And that is it. If the cover looks amazing, but you can't really read the title, the cover's failed. Right? We need to see the title in the best way possible. That's what the cover design does. Kind of grabs their attention and shows the title really, really good. Right? So, then you've got your cover. Then I'll just add the last bit here is to, what colour should we do? Publish. But remember, description. The description, don't just put AI slop in the book description. Think of your customer and think, what do they need to hear right now in your description that if they're on the fence about buying your book, would push them off the fence to buy it. Okay, so get in the customer's head. What are the speak benefits? For example, if you were selling, doing a fax book for teenage boys, it could be like a parent or someone buying it for a teenage boy. The benefit is get your teenage boy off the screen and learning some interesting facts. That's a benefit for the parent. So they might buy your book based on that benefit. Not just the feature saying there's 500 facts in the book. The benefit of it, what's it going to benefit the customer, okay? So, just to recap now. You've got 5 hours. Firstly, find those 5 hours. Pro tip, make a list of all your time when you get out of work. Like what you're actually doing between when you get home to when you go to sleep and what you do on the weekends. And guaranteed you'll be able to find 5 hours. Then we want to work fast with your 5 hours. Remember, your first hour is finding the right customer. Remember, if you find the right customer, you're basically halfway there to making sales. If you've got the wrong customer, the brutal truth is you're doomed before you've even started. Most people get the wrong customer. They create books they want to create. They're not even thinking about the customer. So get the customer right. Then the title. Remember, the title separate from the cover. Think of a title that the customer will want to buy. And remember to choose a book that you can create fast. You want to do this fast. You want to do the pages in like three hours tops. Okay, so choose that wisely. Then get the pages out of the way. Just do it. While you still got like momentum to do this, get the pages out of the way, because then it's like downhill from then. You're just going to be playing around with AI to do the cover, which is quite enjoyable actually. By the way, I use Gemini. I'm using a lot of Gemini at the moment. It's free and it's doing quite well. Ideogram is also good, and ChatGPT. Sometimes I use a combination. I create a load of designs, concepts in Ideogram, try Gemini as well, then put them into ChatGPT to refine. But either way, remember, cover is very important, but it needs to show the title right. Make sure you get that right. And then the last thing is publish. Don't just AI the description. Think it's much better to you have thought it through and just written an okay description that actually talks to a customer than to just put a load of AI slot there. Okay, try that out. Let me know how it goes. And if you want the full step-by-step system that goes deeper into this so you have more chance of selling the books, I'll leave a link below. Give me a little like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.